Purposely. Your life, God's purpose. Listen at purposely.com.
Hey, this is Jen. You're listening to the Bible for Busy People. Today we are wrapping up our series on the Gospels, on the different writers of the Gospels, their different perspectives on Jesus' life, and how all of them point to Jesus, who is the image of the invisible God. So we're talking today about the book of John, which starts with his own overview of the story, starting at the very beginning of the creation of the world. His focus is introducing Jesus as light and life, Jesus as the one and only Son, the Word made flesh and dwelling among us. We're in John 1, starting in verse 1 today, which says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. He came as a witness to testify concerning that light, so that through him all might believe. He himself was not the light. He came only as a witness to the light. The true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. Children born not of natural descent, nor of a human's decision or a husband's will, but born of God. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. John testified concerning him. He cried out, saying, 'This is the one I spoke about when I said, he who comes after me has surpassed me, because he was before me.' Out of his fullness we have all received grace in place of grace already given. For the law was given through Moses. Grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. No one has ever seen God, but the one and only Son, who is himself God and is in closest relationship with the Father, has made him known." The idea of Jesus as the Word can feel a little bit confusing, but as the Bible Project puts it, the image is powerful and profound. A person's words are distinct from the person who speaks, yet they are also the embodiment of that person's mind and will. I'm kind of a word person, so I love that this introduction is kind of a poem. It's an overflow of all that John sees in Jesus. It's an expression of worship as he sets up what he's going to share with the reader. John was one of Jesus's closest friends. He even calls himself the one whom Jesus loved, which is an expression that might sound kind of arrogant, but I've been thinking about it lately. I think it really indicates how he saw himself through Jesus's eyes. It was another expression of praise and worship for how God loves and sees us. May we all live with that kind of awareness and identity. Now, the author could have been John, the son of Zebedee, which was one of Jesus' disciples, or a different John who was known as John the Elder. But he sure did have an inside track. It seems to me that he was one of the 12, but we just don't know for sure. It is believed that he also wrote Revelation, so we know his role in the story continued all the way to his exile. He continued in his faith and in leadership in the church, all the way to an exile. I like how the Bible Project sums up John's purpose in writing the book, or what they call his big idea. John believes that Jesus is alive and real, and that his message can change individual lives and the entire cosmos forever. Getting into more of the story in John 1 and throughout the book, we are getting familiar with the identity of Jesus, both as others saw him and the claims he makes about himself. Again and again, John makes the point that Jesus is the Son of and equal to God. There were 2 points made about John's writing that I hadn't realized before. The first one is that, according to the Bible Project, John's stories about Jesus all follow the same basic pattern. Jesus performs a sign or makes a claim about his divine identity, resulting in misunderstanding or controversy, and in the end, people are forced to make a choice about who they think Jesus is. Also, Jesus makes 7 I am statements in the book of John, which, as the Overview Bible points out, is the memorial name of God revealed in Exodus. God calls himself I am. The statements that Jesus makes are, I am the bread of life, I am from God and he sent me, I am the light of the world, I am, which indicates God, I am the door, I am the good shepherd, I am the Son of God, I am the resurrection and the life, I am the way and the truth and the life, and I am the vine. We did a series on these last year, and that was really fascinating to go through as well. There's a lot of controversy among the religious leaders about Jesus. Here's one example in John chapter 8, verse 48. It says, "The Jews answered him, 'Aren't we right in saying that you are a Samaritan and demon-possessed?' 'I am not possessed by a demon,' said Jesus, 'but I honor my Father and you dishonor me. I am not seeking glory for myself, but there is one who seeks it, and he is the judge. Very truly, I tell you, whoever obeys my word will never see death.' At this they exclaimed, 'Now we know that you are demon-possessed. Abraham died, and so did the prophets, yet you say that whoever obeys your word will never taste death. Are you greater than our father Abraham? He died, and so did the prophets. Who do you think you are?' Jesus replied, 'If I glorify myself, my glory means nothing. My Father, whom you claim as your God, is the one who glorifies me. Though you do not know him, I know him. If I said I did not, I would be a liar like you, but I do know him and obey his word. Your father Abraham rejoiced at the thought of seeing my day. He saw it and was glad. 'You are not 50 years old,' they said to him, 'and you have seen Abraham.' 'Very truly, I tell you,' Jesus answered, 'before Abraham was born, I am.' At this, they picked up stones to stone him, but Jesus hid himself, slipping away from the temple grounds." A story that is unique to the book of John is when Jesus raises his friend Lazarus from the dead. It is uniquely telling us about Jesus' emotions about the death of a friend. Another unique part is the in-depth look at Jesus' last time spent with his disciples during the Last Supper in John chapters 13 through 17. It includes Jesus washing their feet, predicting betrayal, giving them final instructions, and praying over them. There's some beautiful promises there, like this one. In John 14, verse 1, it says, "Do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. My Father's house has many rooms. If that were not so, would I have told you that I'm going there to prepare a place for you? And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am. You know the way to the place where I am going." Also in verse 10, it says, "Don't you believe that I am in the Father and that the Father is in me? The words I say to you, I do not speak on my own authority. Rather, it is the Father living in me who is doing his work. Believe me when I say that I am in the Father and the Father is in me, or at least believe on the evidence of the work themselves. Very truly, I tell you, whoever believes in me will do the works I have been doing, and they will do even greater things than these, because I am going to the Father. And I will do whatever you ask in my name, so that the Father may be glorified in the Son. You may ask me for anything in my name, and I will do it." John's book really shows a significant example of relationship and intimacy with Christ that isn't quite the same that's shown in the other Gospels. You get a sense for John's close friendship with Jesus and how we too can feel so loved and seen and cared for by God and by Jesus. There's a lot of the use of the number 7 in this book, the number representing completion in the Bible. The Bible Project notes that there are 7 I am statements and 7 major miracles or signs, starting with Jesus turning the water to wine and ending with Jesus' resurrection. And also, just for fun, John writes about how he beat Peter to the tomb, which always cracks me up. The disciples were definitely a typical family. So did you learn anything new about the book of John today? I hope you did. I hope you learned some new things about the Gospels this week. And I hope that if you are looking for a place to start in the Bible, that you will start with one of the Gospels. I will talk to you next week.
Thank you for listening to The Bible for Busy People. If you need prayer or want to go deeper in your faith, visit our show notes. Will you take a moment to share with a friend and leave a review? It helps the Bible get into even more people's minds and hearts. Find more podcasts that will recharge you at purposely.com.